Ta-da! Welcome back. This will be episode 1 of the Fall Reading Diaries. Staring at me like, you're making fun of me, Mom. Something that seems like everybody is reading. I personally already have read them, but that was like back in like elementary and middle school. It's the Twilight series. And to be honest, like, I really loved the Twilight series, book and movie. The acting, oh my gosh, I've rewatched the movies and I'm like, okay, these are still semi-good, except the fact that the acting sucks. Like Bella's and Edward's acting, there's a few other people. I was like, okay, this is not as good as I remember. So that got me thinking. Are the books as good as I remember? Because I used to be infatuated with these books. So we're gonna test that out. I already am technically reading a series. I haven't gotten past page 2, so we may or may not be starting with this. So you're gonna have to tune into episode 2 of when we first start reading. I'm gonna kind of go with the series first, by the way. Next series that we're going to be reading this fall to winter, because this is a lot of books, and your girl needs to be able to use her brain for other things without having to die. It is Upside Down, A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. I have heard so many crazy things about this book, and like from YouTubers, friends who are YouTubers, and I'm like, okay, I need to get it. And so I was added it to my cart, and my friend actually bought it for me. A lot of these books my friend actually bought. This is another very popular series. I got this for my birthday. I've been really wanting to read it ever since I saw Haley Pham read this book. She made it seem like really fun. And then I read obviously a little bit about the book, and I was like, oh my gosh, I gotta read this. It is the Red Rising series. I've got the whole series right here. I got Golden Sun, Morning Star, Iron Gold, Red Rising, and Dark Age. So we got pretty much what I know of is the whole series right here. That will be read. Next series is this duology. My fiance's oldest sister gave it to me, and apparently she says she really likes these, and so I'm gonna try. It's Dark Secrets by Elizabeth Chandelier, or Chandler. It's either Chandler or Chandelier. I can't remember how to spell the Chandelier. Legacies of Lies Don't Tell, and then Dark Secrets 2, obviously by the same person, Elizabeth Chandler, and it's No Time to Die, The Deep End of Fear. So I feel like it's gonna be very obviously fantasy, but I feel like dark fantasy. I gotta grab my dog. Ace, come here. Come here. Good boy. Let me go close that door. Good boy. Good boy. Go lay down. Where are you coming in or out? In or out? Alright. My cat will probably end up in Ellis's room. So I'm not really worried about him not feeling loved because Ellis loves him to death. So. Press buttons on the remote that's behind me. Okay, so I think it's gonna be like a dark fantasy type thing. So at least that's what it kind of sounds like. I actually got this book last year in October, and I started to read it, and I just couldn't like figure out what the heck it was, exactly. And it's supposed to be an irresistible coming-of-age story about a group of misfit kids who spend an unforgettable summer investigating local ghost stories and urban legends. Growing up in 1980s Niagara Falls, a seedy but magical, slightly haunted place, Jake Baker spends most of his time with his Uncle Calvin, a kind of a kind but eccentric enthusiastic of occult artifacts and conspiracy theories. This summer, Jake turns 12. He befriends a pair of siblings new to town, and so Calvin initiates them all into the Saturday Night Ghost Club. But as the summer goes on, what begins as a seemingly lighthearted project will uncover mysteries darker than any of its members, young or grown, had imagined. With the alternating warmth and heartbreak of the best coming-of-age stories, the Saturday Night Ghost Club is a no perfect novel that establishes Craig Davidson as a remarkable literary talent. Now, okay, maybe I just needed I got like halfway through this and I DNF'd it. I thought about, if I can't seem to get through any of these, like, or I've gotten through some of these and I need like a mind break, try reading this again. I have a couple of these in here. I'm gonna have to figure out how to spread out. Next, oh wait, I said series, right? First, okay, my bad. So we have the complete, so far complete, I don't know if she's making any more books, Bad Blood series, the Naturals series. It's by Jennifer Lynn Barnes, and I'll read the back of the first book, although the back of some of these books are even better, just they have spoilers. Okay, 17-year-old Cassie Hobbs is a natural at reading people. Piercing together the tiniest details, she can tell you who you are and what you want. But it's not a skill that she's ever taken seriously. That is until the FBI comes a knockin'. They've begun a classified program that uses exponential teenagers to crack an infamous cold cases, and they need Cassie. What Cassie doesn't realize is that there's more at risk than a few unsolved homicides, especially when she's sent to live with a group of teens whose gifts are as unusual as her own. Soon, it becomes clear that no one in the Naturals program is what they seem, and when a new killer strikes, danger looms close. Caught in a lethal game of cat and mouse with the killer, the Naturals are going to have to use all their gifts just to survive. Apparently, it's kind of like the Inheritance games, but what this gives me is like Criminal Minds with a little bit of supernatural mixed into it. Because it's serial killers that they are like dealing with. Wait, includes the bonus novella. Ooh, this includes the bonus novella, which is 12. Interesting. Sorry. Which is like they go after serial killers and it's a specialized team, like handpicked. And that's kind of what the BAU is in Criminal Minds, and they all have like special abilities, so that's where it's kind of different. But I don't know, it kind of gives that with a supernatural twist to it. That's at least what I think. That's actually the book that I've started, which was the Naturals of the Natural series. Okay, so next is the Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires. This book is actually really, really good. I got it from Barnes & Noble and it was ripped, so I got it on sale. I got it at the same time I got my Big Pikachu. If you haven't seen that yet, this is my Big Pikachu. It was oh my gosh, was it birthday? It had to have been a birthday gift card because these are Halloween. I have no idea. It's kind of interesting to think about. I read this last year and I absolutely loved it, right? Well, it's the Halloween season again. Obviously, this is probably going to be one of the last ones I read just because there are so many that I haven't read that need to be read before it. Other than, obviously, the Twilight series, that it's its own thing. It's been more than 2 years. I think I think we can count it as unread in my grown-up perspective. But yeah, no. So we have the Southern's Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires. Here's the back. JK. Patricia Campbell's life has never felt smaller. Her husband is a workaholic. Her teenage kids have their own lives. And her senile mother-in-law needs consistent care. And she's always a step behind on her endless to-do list. The only thing keeping her sane is her book club, a close-knit group of Charleston women united by their love of true crime. Then James Harris walks into her life during the summer of 1993. He makes her feel like things she hasn't she whoa he makes her feel things she hasn't felt in years. But when children on the other side of town go missing, Patricia wonders if he's connected. Is he a Brad Pitt, a Bundy, or something even worse? It's a really good book. Alright, I think that's it for the series, or at least completed series. Next is Stephen King's Finders Keepers. The next one is Stephen King, The Outsiders. And then this one is a manga. It is Juni Ito's story collection manga, so it's the Frankenstein one. The master of a horror manga bends all his skills into bringing the anguished and solitary monster and the fouler beast who created him to life, and with the brilliant detailed chiaroscuro for which he is known. Sorry if I mispronounce this stuff. Also included are 6 tales of Ashikiri, a high school student who lives in a decaying mansion connected to a haunted parallel world. Uncanny doppelgangers, unfortunately murdered friends, and a whole lot more are in store for him. Bonus, the Ito family dog, thrilled to the adventures of Non Ito, are an adorable Maltese. Okay, next two, this one is the lighthearted one. Obviously, if I need it, I'm gonna need it. This is recommended to me by Haley Pham. It is one of her top books. She's loved. It's Better Than the Movies by Lynn Painter. Liz Buxbaum has always known that Wes Bennett was not boyfriend material. You would think that her next door neighbor would be a prime candidate for her romantic comedy fantasies. I'm gonna say that. That's how I'm gonna say that word from now on. But Wes has only proven himself to be a pain in the butt. Ever since they were little, Wes was the kid who put a frog in her Barbie dream house, the monster who hid a lawn gnome's severed head in her little homemade neighborhood book exchange. Flash forward 10 years from the great gnome decapitation. It's Liz's senior year, a time meant to be rife with milestones perfect for any big screen, and she needs Wes's help. See, Liz's forever crush, Michael, has just moved back to town, and horribly, annoyingly, he's hitting it off with Wes, meaning that if Liz wants Michael to finally notice her and hopefully be her prom date, she needs Wes. He's her in. But as Liz and Wes's scheme to get Liz her magical prom moment, she's shocked to discover that she actually likes being around Wes. And as soon as they continue to grow closer, she must re-examine everything she thought she knew about love, and rethink her own perception of what happily ever after should really look like. What? Okay, it's definitely a cheesy book, but apparently it's super good, and I know that I'm gonna need a mind break from all of these books. So that is why I have picked Better Than the Movies. There is a huge series out there that I'm not reading because I really need that to be its own thing away from something like this, and it's the ACOTAR series. I tried reading the ACOTAR series and I did not get past page 2. But I think it's just because my mind was not really into it yet. Anyways, The Poppy War. When War Orphan Rin aced the Kiju, the Empire When War Orphan Rin aced the Kiju, the Empire-wide test to find the most talented youth to learn at the academies, she surprised everyone, test officials, the guardians who wanted to marry her off and further their criminal enterprise, and even herself. But being a dark-skinned peasant girl from the south is not easy at Singard, the most elite military school in Nakan. Targeted by rival classmates for her color, poverty, and gender, Rin discovers that gods long thought dead are very much alive, and that she possesses a lethal, unearthly power, an aptitude for the nearly mythical art of shamanism that could be the weapon the Empire desperately needs. While Nakara is at peace, Its enemy and former occupiers, the Federation of Mugan, bides its time, and a third Poppy War is just a spark away. Rin's shamanic powers may be the only way to save her people. Yet as she discovers more about the god that has chosen her, the vengeful Phoenix, she fears that winning the war may cost her humanity, and it may already be too late. That's wow. Just wow. Okay, so obviously I don't think that's going to be an in-between book. I mean, like, to give me a break. That sounds like a really good book right now. Okay, and then we'll move on to my Riley Sager books. I really hate that this one is hardback and everything else is paperback, but it's okay. So we have The House Across the Lake by Riley Sager. Casey Fletcher, a recently widowed actress trying to escape a streak of bad press, has retreated to the peace and quiet of her family's lake house in Vermont. Armed with a pair of binoculars and several bottles of bourbon, she passes the time watching Tom and Kathleen Royce, the glamorous couple living in the house across the lake. They make good for viewing. They make good. This is annoying. They make for good viewing. A tech innovator, Tom is powerful, and a former model, Catherine, is gorgeous. One day on the lake, Casey saves Catherine from drowning, and the two strike up a budding friendship. But the more they get to know each other, and the longer Casey watches, it becomes clear that Catherine and Tom's marriage isn't as perfect as it appears. When Catherine suddenly vanishes, Casey immediately suspects Tom of foul play. What she doesn't realize is that there's more to the story than meets the eye, and that shocking secret can lurk beneath the most placid of surfaces. Sounds really good. I really hated that one sentence though. Next one is Lock Every Door by Riley Sager. Her dream apartment, her worst nightmare. After responding to a mysterious newspaper advertisement, Jules Larson gets a job as an apartment sitter at the Bartholomew, one of the Manhattan's most famous and secretive buildings. At first, the extravagance of the Bartholomew feels like a lucky break for a recently heartbroken and penniless Jules. Ace! Who has been haunted by misfortune for most of her life. But when a fellow apartment sitter in the building goes missing, Jules begins to suspect that there are dark forces at work behind the Bartholomew's glamorous facade. Digging deeper into the building's past, Jules soon realizes that the Bartholomew is more dangerous than she thought, and that escape may be impossible. The next one is The Only One Left. It's going to be on the inside. At 17, Lenore Hope hung her sister with a rope. Now reduced to a schoolyard chant, the Hope family murders shocked the Maine coast one bloody night in 1929. While most people assume 17-year-old Lenore was responsible, the police was never able to prove it. Other than her denial after the killings, she has never spoken publicly about that night, nor had she set foot outside Hope's End, the cliffside mansion where the massacre occurred. Stabbed her father with a knife, took her mother's happy life. It is now 1983, and home health aide Kit McDeary arrives at a decaying Hope's End to care for Lenora after her previous nurse fled in the middle of the night. In her 70s and confined to a wheelchair, Lenora was rendered mute by a series of strokes and can only communicate with Kit by tapping out sentences on an old typewriter. One night, Lenora uses it to make a tantalizing offer. "I want to tell you everything." "It wasn't me," Lenora said, "but she's the only one that's not dead." As Kit helps Lenora write up the events leading to the Hope's family massacre, it becomes clear there's more to the tale than people know. But when the details about her predecessor's departure come to light, Kit starts to suspect Lenora might not be telling the complete truth, and that the seemingly harmless woman in her care could be far more dangerous than she thought. Riley Sager is a really, really good writer. Next is a long-awaited book, which is Birthday Girls by Penelope Douglas. Jordan. He took me in when I had nowhere else to go. He doesn't use me, hurt me, or forget about me. He doesn't treat me like I'm nothing, take me for granted, or make me feel unsafe. He remembers me, laughs with me, and looks at me. He listens to me, protects me, and sees me. I can feel his eyes on me over the breakfast table, and my heart pumps so hard when I hear him pulled in the driveway after work. I have to stop this. It can't happen. My sister once told me there are no good men, and if you find one, he's probably unavailable. Only Pike Lawson isn't the unavailable one. I am Pike. I took her in because I thought I was helping. She'd cook a few meals and clean up a little. It was an easy arrangement. As the days go by, though, it's becoming anything but easy. I had to stop my mind from drifting to her and stop holding my breath every time I bump into her in the house. I can't touch her. I shouldn't want to. The more I find my path crossing hers, though, Ace, quit it! The more she's becoming a part of me. But we're not free to give in to this. She's 19, and I'm 38, and her boyfriend's father? Unfortunately, they both just moved into my house. What? That is so just not okay. Just so not okay. Okay, Birthday Girl seems like it's gonna be a definite interesting read, and whether I can finish it or not. But that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27. There's 27 books in total for the fall to winter time. I don't have any winter books. In a sense, I mean, unless you want to count Twilight. If I for somehow finish all of these before Christmas, I will start the Harry Potter series. So that is all. My cat is clawing underneath the door. That is all. Thank you for watching my fall reading diaries TBR. I will see you guys for episode 2. Bye.